everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be speaking a little bit about everything, but we were talking about, Kara was talking about, what was it again?
Blooming where you are.
Yeah, blooming where you are, and
like keeping your spirits up.
Keeping your spirits up. Okay, so I like that, even while you're going through a mess. So, if you're interested in that, keep watching. Okay, so we know someone who is going through a hot mess right now, and would you say that he's being, because he's a very happy guy. He's a really happy guy, but he's going through a really rough time. You wouldn't know, because he's going through a rough time, but he's still like cheery. And I kind of like it. I mean, like I know. Some people might say it's like fake, but I don't think he's being fake. I really think that he's just trying to find himself. Himself, you know what I mean? And not trying to find a way not to be depressed about what he's going through. And basically, it's homelessness, right? So basically, that's what it is. And so that's obviously, if you guys have watched us, we can totally relate to that, being homeless and going through that journey and trying to be I don't say happy, but trying not to get into a period,
trying not to get
state,
too lost.
of depression while you're going through extremely tough time. And I can say, I know this is really difficult. I know we've talked about this before, but it is really hard to try to be positive when your circumstances are a bit negative, right? So I think that you should try to find a way. You know what I mean? You should try to find a way to be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. When I lost everything, I felt like I didn't have the right to be.
Yeah, I felt that way too.
Happy. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of people feel that way. They feel like when they're down, like you can only be happy when you're outwardly successful.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But like I said, I don't think you can get to success without having some sort of inside feeling that you're going to get there. And the only way you can have that feeling is if you feel good.
Yeah.
Because, in order to get what you want, you have to match the feelings.
Right. But the faking it, do you think that faking it to you, so you're a believer in faking it till you make it? Are you that person?
I don't think you have to.
You don't think you have to?
I don't think you have to fake it. I think you have to find some place, because fake is not real. So I feel like you had to find some place in yourself that validates your situation in a positive light.
Right.
Because really, no matter where you are, there is something there that is teaching you.
It's teaching you. Yeah.
That's one. Some teaching doesn't always feel good. But then also, you are blessed.
That's another part.
I know it's hard to think that, if you're going through something hard.
Yeah, because when you're going through it,
you think, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are blessed. You are blessed every day that you can get up and start again. Yeah. So, but that's the challenge, is finding that. So that's why I say I don't think like faking it till you make it is necessary. Right. I think you just need to be happy. And you can find that. You know what I mean? It may take you, I'm not saying, I think you should be sad until you're happy. You get those feelings out. That's why I don't like faking it till you make it, because I think that it's telling you to take your real feelings and bottle it up inside. And
I was watching, okay, so the guy, was a YouTuber that we watched, he's a hair guy, Will and a Whim. Okay, so he did a video recently where,
I saw that.
Did you watch all of it? I didn't watch all of it, but I watched most of it, the beginning of it, and he was, I think it was titled Crying After 15 Years, Crying for the First Time After 15 Years. So he's been through some traumatic stuff when he was younger, a young boy, and when he was 10 years old, he had an experience, and then since 10 years old, he has never cried.
Right.
Until, I think he said, the past month,
right,
he's been crying a lot because, I think when you bottle all that stuff up, don't you think that
well,
that's why he can't stop crying?
That's what faking it till you make it does. That's why I don't believe in that.
It's like bottling up.
Right. I believe you need to find your real feelings.
Yeah.
And so if that means being really sad first, then do it.
Yeah.
But then find, where you're not. I think when I was in my depression mode, I was in that for a year. You know what I mean? I was like lost inside because there's this part of you that's you know, connected to higher power, which I was. But there's other parties connected to this world and the society and how people perceive you. You know what I mean? And everybody feels that way. You know what I mean? Because that's part of being a human being. You live in it. You're having a human experience. While you're a soul having a human experience. So you're part of your human experience is dealing with the human issues. So you can't pretend like, you know, you're so holier than thou that you can't have a real feeling.
Because, you know, I said this before with when this first happened, the sheer embarrassment of it all, it's like you want to hide. You know what I mean? And there's something to be said for people who are going through something huge and just don't want to hide. It's just making it worse when you do that, I think. And I just felt this feeling of, you know, like I don't want to be seen. I don't want anybody to know what's happening. I'm going to try to pretend. You know what I mean? And it's just too hard to keep up with all that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like when you're going through a hard time in your life, no one's saying go out there and shout it to everybody well if you don't want to, but it's something to say to yourself. You know what I mean? To not be embarrassed or ashamed.
Like I
personally.
Said, like I said I think on our last video, this guy is going through something, but I actually think that he's a happy guy. He just
I totally believe that.
Because it's really sort of authentic. You know what I mean? He's just an energetic, happy guy. But there is another guy here who's also homeless.
True.
And he is someone who fakes it. He talks about everything that happened to him before so he can validate the fact that he was not a loser. You know what I mean? And so he's always trying to talk to me and always trying to show me that I used to do this. I used to be a boxer. I used to do this. And the thing is, it's just like...
It's the same thing with me the other day. He said he used to do all these many different things.
I used to be a boxer. I used to do this and I used to do that. And I was watching something because I don't believe in that. You know, I've never believed in that.
You were saying something about this earlier.
I believe that you have to, in order for me, because to me, how I got out of my depression was is to let go of my past. And I don't say like your past is important. It's where you came from, but I think because I came from New York and I was successful there, you know what I mean? I made it 10 years and I felt good. When you're in a city, when you come from a city like this, it's smaller, and then you go to a bigger city, it's still an accomplishment. You know what I mean? And I think that
when you feel like you should have something to show for it, and so when you don't,
and so when I came home, then I lost everything, and we didn't just lose everything. We lost family, we lost money, we lost men, we lost, we didn't have a job, I didn't have a place to live, so we lost a lot all at once. And it's really hard to sort of find yourself in all of that, because you realize at this moment that you are attached to the outer things of your life.
And you're digging yourself out of this hole.
And who you are is not your money, who you are is not your friends.
Don't you think we had to learn this, though?
Who you are is who you are, you know what I mean? And you'll only get out of those things when you can let go of who you used to be, so you can move forward to who you're gonna be. Because I honestly believe that when you lose everything, you weren't living your real life anyway. That's why you lost everything. You know what I mean? And somehow I think it's the universe trying to fix you and get you aligned with who you're really supposed to be. And in order to do that, like I said before, I think that I've always wanted to be, you know, wealthy, and I've always wanted to have money, you know, money and just status, and I think that I said that so much in the universe that I think that in order for me to get there, the way I was living it's like the universe heard it and said, okay, but you won't get there from how you're living now. So I'm going to have to dismantle your life, and it's not going to feel good, but one day you'll understand. And it's that understand part that you have to try to figure out where your self-worth is at. Because if your self-worth is only in what people, if people can only like the highlights of your life, then there's something that's not right with your life.
You know, but when I was, so when I had, not even just New York, just in general in my life, when I had stuff, right, I didn't know at the time that I was so connected to that stuff, and then I associated my stuff, you know, things with success, or with, you know what I mean? I didn't know that I was so dependent on how that made me look, you know what I mean, until everything was gone. And so when everything is gone, it's a you feel it's empty. You feel empty, but in a I don't know, like you're about to grow. It's like you feel like you're about to grow out of whatever you're going through. You don't see it then, but you feel like there's something in you that feel like that. But I never realized how much emphasis and how much my security within my self-esteem was in all my stuff. You know what I mean? And then when everything was gone, it's like, okay, Danielle, now it's just you. So, you know, like, who are you? You don't have the stuff now. You don't got stuff now. So now what? You know, and I had to find myself, and I feel like that man, the biggest blessing in the world, honestly, was being homeless.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's the oddest thing, because I feel like if you had said to me 10 years ago, I'm telling y'all, if someone came to me 10, 15 years ago and said, you know what, in 2000 and such and such, you're going to lose everything, and you're going to be homeless, and you're going to get out of it, I would have been like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no way that's going to be me. And not because I thought I was higher than anything, just literally I just thought that would be me. But then it was.
Yeah.
And I grew so much from this. Like, I feel like it made me feel confident in myself. Like, I'm able to gain some kind of confidence out of knowing I can dig myself out. I didn't think I had this kind of strength.
Yeah.
I didn't. And I'm telling you right now, earlier on, when this first happened, there was no strength.
Right.
I was, we handled depression differently.
Yeah.
Like, Kara got closed, shut down. Isolated, very sad, and then I did the outward. I'm just trying, when something goes wrong, I'm in fix it mode. So I try to fix it. I try to be happy, try to be happy, and really inside I'm not. And so I have those like alone moments where I'm like falling apart, where I'm like crumbling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. It was hard. It was really hard, but I got out of it.
And I think that the only way that you can move forward is to focus your energy on where you want to go.
Yeah.
Because energy flows where attention goes.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so if you're only thinking about your problems and you're only thinking about, how you messed up, then that is where your energy is going to go, and that's where you'll remain.
Right.
But if you are, forward thinking and you're thinking about, leaving your circumstance and doing better, and then, really putting your energy towards that, and then you're actively taking, you start to, use your energy and actively go towards what it is that you want, you'll get there. See, 'cause I always think this. I used to not think this. This is something that this is how I get through, like hard times or when there's a setback. Right. So if you lost if you're right now, if you're homeless right now, and the hard part about being a setback or something like that is that you don't know what tomorrow's going to be like, and you don't know what the future is going to be like.
It's a big question mark, the unknown.
Security is really not real.
Right.
We can lose everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's the way we think about our lives. It's what's the real security is the way you think about your life. You know what I mean? So if someone told you, if you were homeless, and if you're homeless now and you're watching, if someone told you in 1 year that you were going to be a millionaire, you would have a better homeless time.
Right. Because you'd be.
And so that's how that is how I get through my hard moments. It's the reason why I don't cry.
Yeah.
It's because I know one day I'm going to have everything I want. Yeah. But if someone the thing is, we don't know. We have to have faith. Faith is believing without seeing. And if we had to see everything though before. We wouldn't be so sad. Yeah. I mean, if you knew you were going to win you knew you were going to win the lottery next year, then your homeless situation really wouldn't bother you so much. But because you don't know that. Yeah. And so that's where having faith really is, because you have to know that everything changes. Everything good that happens in your life isn't going to last. Yeah. Just like every bad thing that happens in your life isn't going to last. We're always changing, whether we like it or not.
I realized really quickly, though, through all of this, is that all of the corny cliches that you hear people say, like, when you fall down 7, get back 8, get back 8. It's like, you hear all these corny, you're going to get through it, just keep going towards it. I know the tunnel seems small, and it's like, all those corny things is correct. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't, when you go through something, like, I know when I was going through this, like, I felt like I didn't know how I was going to get out of it, but every time I would hear someone say to me, "Oh my God, but you're going to get through it, girl," and but when you're in a bad state of mind, you don't see it that way. But no, they're right. You will get through it. It's not whatever your problem is. Like, if you're watching this, and whatever can be anything, whatever is really depressing you right now. you will get through it, but you honestly have to get up.
Yeah.
There has to be a period of, I think, where you're dealing, where you're going through your pain, anger, all of that. There has to be a period that is human. You know what I think? It's like a human thing. But there has to be a part where you got to get up. You know what I mean? And I think that's what was happening with me. I was like, okay, so how many times am I going to cry? How long is that going to go on? You cry too much, you stay stuck. And wherever you go, you know what I mean? You're never going to be able to move forward. You never get the things you want. So you kind of have to get up. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you got to do something. Yeah. When you got out of your, your depression, like, it was exhilarating for even me to see, because
I used working out.
Yeah,
working out was a shock. And this is what I say. I think God will always give you something. Yeah. Because here I am with no money, but because I live in a hotel and they had a gym, because I pay for it.
Yeah, you're right.
I was able. This whole time I've been in this hotel, I had never even used the gym, and I get on the treadmill, and it really changed everything, because when you start doing something, your mind is not stuck anymore. It starts to push forward.
It's like you unlock. You know what I mean? It's like a lock,
right?
And so, then unlock. Yeah.
Your natural adrenaline, your natural the euphoric feelings that are inside you. You don't have to have any drugs or anything for that. It's just natural when you work out. It makes you feel very optimistic. It makes you open. And I could literally, 20 minutes, I was out of shape. You know what I mean? But 20 minutes, I felt more like I felt like anything could happen, and I couldn't believe I couldn't believe that in that moment, the first time I ever felt like anything could really change. And
but don't you feel like it was more of like it was like what the reason why it was helping you mentally was because you accomplished something. It's like when you're going through something hard, like you feel like you have to, what helps you is that if you can do something with your time, like there's a feeling of accomplishment. So you may have just felt like, okay, so I accomplished something and then I won. Yeah. I have work to do, but you did something. You're doing something different.
Working out, working out is a natural. You have natural chemicals in your body that pump up as soon as you start to really work out. Yeah. But the reason why I got addicted to working out is because I wanted to feel that again. Yeah. Because I felt like that was the first time I ever felt
depleted.
Yeah, but it's the first time I ever felt like I could do anything again. Because I've always been that kind of person that I've really always worked hard, and I've always been able to take care of myself. Yeah. And this was the first time I was scared because I felt like I was at the mercy of someone. Right. And I didn't like that. You know what I mean? And so this was the first time I really felt like I wasn't all the way there, but it was the first time that in like that year and a half that I felt like things can change. So I kept going back and I kept going back simply just to get that feeling. Yeah.
But to really know what you're capable of, sometimes you got to be put through a test. You know what I mean? And we just had a big test. Yeah. We just had a huge test.
It was a test that I think I would now.
If you guys are confused, real quick, if you guys are confused about what I'm talking about, I will put a link up above me will be a card. You can click on to see our story, one of our first videos about our entire story. So if you guys, some people are new here, if you're confused about that, I'll put a little card up here somewhere. Yeah. So just click that and you can see that video.
Yeah. But I feel like when I remember when I was so, and it's like that when I was depressed, it was those tears that it literally felt like you get the wind knocked out of you. Like you just can't believe it. Felt like a dream. Like it wasn't even real. And then whenever I wasn't, now when I think about it, I think to myself, this is the best thing that ever really happened to me, because I really did need to be broken down, and I'm very ego. Yeah. My ego was pretty big. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you can't. You have to be able to let that go to find where you're really why you're really here on earth. And a lot of people, like you were saying about the devil. It's not the devil is what got you there. Yeah, that's true. But the hard time of getting you out is God. Yeah, even if it hurts. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Your parent. I always think of it as like your parents. Your parents sometimes have to ground you. They sometimes have to do, but they do it because they love you, not because they're trying to hurt you. That you can't. You wouldn't say that to your parents. You wouldn't say, "Oh, the devil's working hard today because you did something wrong, and now you have to." You pay a price for that. Okay. But I really feel like when people are in a position where you've lost everything, it's not the end of the world. But if you don't, you changing and you moving forward, that's up to you. You could literally be homeless for the rest of your life if you want to be.
That's all.
But the
mental.
way that but if you really want something bad enough in life, you know, and I'm one of those people that I believe that I can do anything I really want to do.
I do, yeah. And I think I've always believed that. I'm one of those people who I have to kind of push myself because I'm a very, what's the word? I like stability and routine.
Yeah.
Like that's just who I am. That's just who I am. That won't change. But there's times in my life and many people's lives, I'm sure, where you gotta shake things up, y'all. I mean, you can look. I'm a homebody at heart. I love my homebodiness. You know, it's fun. I love watching my movies and get my coffee and all of that. You know, but there are times where you guys shake it up. You know what I mean?
I like to be home. I like to be at home too. But but for me, like the kind of person I am, as soon as I get passionate about something, then there is no stopping
It's
me.
like that's it.
I'm like a tunnel vision, and it's gonna happen. Whether like when we went to New York, I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care what I have to do. You know, when I really want something, I'm getting it. You know what I mean? And so I had to get back to that space.
Yeah.
Like I felt defeated.
Space,
you know, that mental defeat. But once I started to work out. Everything else changed. You know what I mean? The way I saw men change, the way I saw money change, the way, and so now I have such a clear path that even though I'm not where I want to be, it's coming, and I know it because I can just literally see like mental glossies sometimes of where I know I'm going to be. So, like I was saying about the guy that's staying here. He talks a lot. So I was telling him, I said, you have to learn to let go of your past achievements.
Yeah.
I said, and by that I don't mean forgetting about them, because you should always be proud of yourself for the things that you've accomplished. We all want to be proud of that. But if that's all you think that you got in you, then it's going to keep you there. We still have so much more to become and to do, you know what I mean? And you don't want, your best days are, like Joel Osteen always says, your best days are still ahead of you. He's right about that. Like if you're still alive and you're still breathing and you still have another day, your best days are ahead of you. Even if you thought you had the best day before, there are still some days that you just don't even know what's going to happen.
Well, we had some rough times, you guys, but I don't dwell on the roughness of those times. I don't feel the need to dwell. I don't you think that if you dwell, it ages you too, and it stresses you out. You feel like the more you tell yourself that, you know, I'm broke and poor and, the more you'll be that.
Right.
You know what I mean? What you say to yourself is what you will become. So you just got to choose what you want to say to yourself, because a lot of people are saying negative things to themselves and not even realizing it.
I mean, one of my favorite movies is the Rocky movies. And the reason why I like those movies, and I think the reason why a lot of people like those movies, not the boxing, it's the life lessons that you learn with those movies. And Sylvester Stallone's real life,
it mirrors
is why, because he wrote the movie.
Yeah,
he wrote the movie, and he made a success of himself off those movies. And but that part, there is one of the last Rocky where he tells his son, his son was blaming his dad, and everyone loves that scene, and I do too, because at the time that I saw that movie, when we were here, we were homeless, you know what I mean? And so it is a life lesson. Like he was saying that, because I always feel like I'm the kind of person that I will beat myself up, but I will get back up. Yeah. And this was why I was so afraid, because I've never been homeless before in my life. You know, I thought to myself, this might have taken me. That was the first time in my life, I think, at this point, that I felt like
this is the rock bottom.
This might be the one that takes me down. You know what I mean? And just hearing like him saying those words that, life is hard. It beats you to the ground. And he's right. It is. Life can be very hard, and not so much life, but the society that we live in to live. You know what I mean?
You try to live up to. That's
we
the
try
problem.
to live up to. Right. And so he was just saying, and his son has no idea what he had to go through. He was raised in privilege because his father became successful, and so he's saying to yourself, "You are a great man." When I first held you in my hands, I thought you're going to be somebody. Mostly because he loved his mom and he loved his wife, and they had a child together that was their only child. But because he was given so much more than Rocky had, and he was like, "This is you're going to be so much more." You know what I mean? But somewhere along the line, you started feeling, you started letting people point a finger in your face. And I thought to myself, right. And he's like, he's like, let me tell you something you already know. The life is hard. And it was at that point. That boy he was like, but it's not so, and this is true, it's not so much times, life is always going to hit you, but it is how many times you get back up after those hits. It's not just sitting down and crying all the time. Cry, but get up.
I know, because for us it was like hit after hit after hit after hit. Like
it was
happening. It was like it was like it was like a train.
Yeah.
Like, and we just couldn't get, like, we're just drowning and we just couldn't get air. That's what it felt like. And then it would be something the next day and something the next day and something the next day. And then I thought, well, okay, we got to get over this.
Yeah.
We have to get up and get back in there. So I guess whatever it is that your thing is, if you've lost a loved one, I don't like to tell people how to grieve or how long to grieve, but I can say this, that your loved ones, they're wanting you to thrive. They're not wanting you
to sit here
and be sad
sad
about them. I feel I can guarantee that. You know what I mean?
I really like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. But yeah, no. I was just gonna say, if that's, it can be any situation. I'm just using, if you've lost somebody, that seems to be a big thing too. People getting depressed with that as well. And I just, if you're in that, I know a few people that are going through that, and celebrate the life.
Yeah.
Celebrate the life. Don't forget to celebrate the life of the person. You know what I mean? So
I mean, life. Like I was gonna say, that life is short. Life is short, even if we live to be 103.
Yeah, it is.
What I mean? If we live to be 110, we don't have. Think
about that. 103 is not.
I mean, I'm 43 years old. I've been on this earth for 43 years, and that's an accomplishment in itself. You know what I mean? And so the thing is, it's just like you want to.
You're allowed to be happy.
You're allowed to be happy, and you want to spend your time like it's a gift.
Yeah.
It is a gift. Yeah. Life is a gift. I don't care where you are in life. Life is a gift. And it's what you do with your time. Because, really what lasts forever is what we leave behind.
Yeah.
It's not really us being wealthy or whatever, but it's what we leave the world. So we're creators. We're supposed to create. You know what I mean? I don't care what you do for a living. I don't know what everyone, whatever that is. Do it well.
Do it well.
Be
make it matter.
Right. Like even when you go to work, even if you're at a job right now that's just not the job you want to do, make them miss you if you have to leave.
Right.
Everywhere you go, you want to, have left your mark somewhere. You know what I mean? And be your best self. Because when people always say things like, one time I was in Macy's and one of the people, the manager, and then there was another guy, he said, I hate when people say things like, live every day like it's your last. And they were thinking things like jumping out of a plane or going to spend money. I was like, no, that's not what living every day like your last means. It means live every day happy and satisfied,
whatever that is
with
for
yourself, whatever it is.
Whatever your measure of success is, do that.
Right.
Do that and do it well. You know what I mean?
Don't waste your time being mad at people who don't matter. Don't waste your time being jealous of people who have more than you. Because that's another thing that people do. Man. People will always be jealous of people when they're in their blessing time.
Y'all, I've done this.
You know what I mean? Don't be jealous of somebody who is in their receiving mode.
I have done this where I have looked at the highlight reels of people's lives. Like I have done this, and I can admit it. And I'm like, man, I suck.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that, and we're the same age.
Yeah.
How did that happen? You know what I mean? And I just got out of my own way and was like, no, what? That that was years ago, but I'm just saying it's still.
But you ever don't know how long it took for them to get there.
You don't know the story.
You just see the success part. You don't see the part where they had to do like what we're going through.
Don't be jealous of people, y'all.
Like one day I will be a millionaire. Yeah. I know that. I'll say that confidently. One day I'm going to be a millionaire. That is something that I am going towards. I don't care, what anybody says. I just truly believe that.
Right,
you know what I mean? Yeah. But one day somebody's going to come to me and say, God, you live in this house and you drive this car and I'm like, you need to go back to my archives. Yeah. And realize that I was in a hotel room with my sister.
Look at episode number 26.
Right. And I've earned this. Yeah. Right. And I'm proud of this. This took a lot of soul searching. It took a lot of hard work and it took a lot of in-depth getting deep beyond the ego and what people think about me. Because, to get to where you want to go, you can't give a damn about what people think about you.
One thing I know about, us in general, is that when we're ready, like when something, we'll do it. We'll do it, you know what I mean? But it's like we just gotta get that push.
Yeah, because it's just like like I said, where your energy goes, attention goes, where energy flows.
That goes for anything. Let's say dress for the job you want.
Yeah. Be who you want to be. Be the person you want to be. Now, I'm a housekeeper. I have to wear a uniform every day. You know what I mean? It's not even cute. I don't like it. It's not. But you know what? I will put my earrings on and I will put my.
You hate that.
I hate that uniform. I've never had. See, that's the thing. Is like people don't know about me. Like
it's literally just a was it tan?
It's just ugly.
Scrubs.
Like, you know what I mean? I never had to wear a uniform in my life. Not even when I was in high school. I never had to wear a uniform. You know what I mean? But now I do. You know, God finds ways to humble you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I got real humbled when I had to face that uniform. You know what I mean? Because that was like uniform.
God humbled.
You know what I mean? I tell you guys, like, I have a big ego. I had one, and sometimes I still gotta check myself, but I had such a big ego before, and that uniform just made me come face to face with my truth. You know what I mean? Something about that uniform, not even the job, the uniform, it represented a setback. You know what I mean? And it literally made me mad. But you know, when I started, like I said, when I started working out and I started making my money, and I remember saying, because I mean, guys, look, I had to go to minimum wage. Yeah, this is where I was. I had to accept minimum wage.
Look at Indiana. You know what I mean? Look at minimum wage.
Yeah, it's not pretty. You know what I mean? But I said to myself, you know what, Kara? After I started working out, I said, Kara, you know, if you can save money and get yourself out, you are a badass. If you can get with the money you make. If you can, you want to talk about having a biggie, you want to feel good about yourself, get yourself out of this. And see, if you can get yourself out of this and you can make some money and you can do that, then you are some badass.
I watched a video of the guy at that time, and he said, I was literally rolling my eyes until I actually did it. When he said, I don't even know what his name was. Oh, his name was Jerry Levine. And he said, you can save, because he had been in position. Even if you save money every time you get paid, right? Is what he said. And I'm like,
pay yourself.
What do you do? What do you do when you get paid minimum wage? And it's funny that I said that, because right after I said it mentally in my head, he said, even if you're making minimum wage. Yeah. Even if you're in a weird situation. And I was like, what the hell is he are you serious? You know what I mean? Like that. But then I did it. You know what I mean? I did it. Now I get everyone's lifestyle is different. But you have kids and stuff like that. But he does too. And I thought, well, how is he doing that? But you know, he got out of it and he's doing really well now. But yeah, it's how you think. Like we don't. I really truly learned that. Yeah. That what you believe. I used to always say that, but I didn't always put it into like action, because I never really had to, because we always had the stuff. But when you ain't got nothing and you have to start from scratch and you're digging yourself out a hole and you're trying to get to the surface of the water, then you really find out really quickly what it means to think positive. And that's exactly what I did. Just thought, look, I got right into gear. I was like, I gotta start thinking positive. I cannot get into a negative situation in my head, because if I do that, I will drown and I will be done. You know, I will be done. So
you know, and I have very expensive taste. I like expensive things, but I realize now that won't get me where I want to go. Right. You know what I mean? There's a time for that. You know what I mean? And now this situation made me good with money. I'm very good with money now.
Changed,
you know what I mean? I am a changed woman. I can say that to you right now. That I'm a very smart woman with money now. You know what I mean? And I pay myself and I pay my bills on time.
Let me tell you, it changed the whole game. Losing everything changed it.
But it also made me realize that my dreams can come true with that mindset. Right. What I was doing before was making me poor. Yeah. What I'm doing now is because, you know, like this guy said, that he said millionaires aren't millionaires because of how much money they spend. It's about how much money they can keep while they spend. And then invest. You know what I mean? So he said poor people spend until they don't have any money. That's why they're poor. Yeah. He said rich people invest their money, but they invest their money themselves. Yeah. And you know what I mean? So he said, I don't care how much money you have right now. He's just like, think that way and you will get there. Truth. And so that's what I'm doing. But it's like, keep on pushing. You want to be a real badass? Get yourself out of your situation. You see you feel how good you feel after that, and I tell you feel good about that. So no matter where you are right now, no matter where you are right now, feel good about that. It's teaching you something. Yeah, it's true. It's teaching you something right now, and you just got to sift through the tears and embarrassment, but you'll find it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Keep going, y'all. Yeah. I'm telling you, you will get through this. Yeah. I don't care what you are going through. I'm telling you, if we can get through what we got through, man, y'all gonna be fine.
Pearls are in oysters. Diamonds are in coal. Right. Is that what it is in coal? Is that black stuff? Oh, shit. But I'm saying, the ugly places are where the most beautiful things are. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? The ugly places are where the most beautiful things are. And the thing is that people don't want to take the time to do that. Yeah. They want to just have they just want to have it now. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, no.
And look the part. Look, honey, if you ain't got no car, you try to pretend you do, you ain't got it. Don't do that. You ain't got it. If you ain't got the money, if you're standing next to someone's boat and flexing on that, it ain't yours. Don't do that. Right. Be yourself.
Be yourself.
But we're running out of time, you guys. So we are going to head out. If you would like, please like and subscribe.
Remember what's her name?
Oh,
She said, "Don't you hate that?" And that happens. That's what happens when you're curly. When you're a curly girl, sometimes your curls have a mind of their own, and it's like when she said, "Hello, Bianca."
It looks like
it's like a phone. Your curls they
looks
play
like
you
one
sometimes.
too. Wow,
I like being a natural girl.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I hope everybody has a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and go over to our Facebook page and join the Facebook page with us. We will be very grateful. And that's it. So we will see you guys next Tuesday. Thank you guys. Bye.